Hi, welcome to my video on solve linear inequalities, two variables for y. Solving linear inequalities with two variables for y. Let's solve for y. And just a little recall, just before I start this one. Recall, remember when I have a unit on solving linear inequalities with one variable. So if I had negative 2x greater than, say, 8, if I divide by negative 2, that means x is less than negative 4. Dividing an inequality by a negative number changes the direction of a greater than to a less than. If that was a less than, it become greater than. So that's in when we did the linear inequalities on a single variable. So the same holds true when we solve these inequalities for y. When we divide in the last step by a negative number, the direction changes. So let's solve some of these for practice. So y is greater than negative x plus 2. So the x goes over to the right side to become negative, and everything is perfect. Now we're going to solve this one for y. When we're solving for y, we isolate the y on the left side. So the negative 3x becomes a positive 3x minus 8. And now we divide all parts of the equation. We divide all terms by 2. So the 2's cancel. I get y is less than 3 over 2x minus 4. Notice again, I'm dividing by 2. It's positive. I do not change the direction. I'm solving for y, almost y. Notice I said solve for y, not negative y. So I have to divide all the terms by negative 1. Negative 1. So negative divided by negative is a positive. Negative divided by negative is a positive. Positive divided by negative 1 is negative. Because I divided by negative 1, this less than becomes greater than equal to. You change the direction. Let's solve this inequality for y. So the y stays on the left, and the x moves to the right, changing the sign. The constant moves to the right, changing the sign. So now I divide all terms by negative 10. Dividing by negative 10 makes that a 1, makes that a 1x, which is x, and makes this a minus 4. Again, because I divided by negative 10, that means this becomes a less than. Dividing by a negative number on the last step changes your direction. A less than becomes a greater than becomes less than. E. Now we have some brackets, so PEMDAS, we remove the brackets first, so we go 2x plus 4y greater than or equal to negative 3y plus 12. So by distributive property, I multiply the 2 by both of these terms, negative 3 by both of these. Now I have to move, I'm solving for y, so all the y's will go to the left side, and the x will move to the right side. So the negative 3y became positive, moving it to the left, and the 2x became negative, moving it to the right. So it gives me 7y is greater than or equal to negative 2x plus 12, and I divide all the terms by 7. So y, notice I'm dividing by 7, so that does not change direction. Negative 2 over 7x plus 12 over 7. Okay, practice. Practice means pause the video and you work each one of these out, and when you get them done, press play. Because if you can do the first one right and the second one and so on, but it's no good to do, what I find, it's no good to do all these and then check my answers. It's best to check them as you do. Do them one at a time. So I'm going to solve for y. So 4y is greater than negative 6x plus 4. 6x moves over to the right, become negative. I divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Notice I'm dividing by positive numbers, so that doesn't change. Still says greater than. And 6 and 4, 2 into 6 goes negative 3, 2 into 4 goes 2. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Number 2, I'm solving for y, so negative 7y is greater than 21x minus 14. Remember, when I say solve for y, that means I'm writing it as what? Y in terms of mx plus b. So I'm writing it into this form, except instead of an equal sign, I got less than and greater than here. So I'm really, when I'm solving for y, I'm putting it into the slope y-intercept form. So the x goes to the right, become positive, and now we divide all terms by negative 7. Negative 7 divided by negative 7 is 1. Because I divide it by negative 7, that becomes a less than. And that is negative 3x plus 2. And we have to remove the bracket, so a half times 4 is 2. A half times 6 is 3. So that's the first step. Now I solve for y. 3y is less than negative 2x plus 9. And divide by 3. Divided by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. I'm dividing by a positive number, so it doesn't change. Positive 3 does not change. It stays, that's the less than sign. How do I know it's less than? Because it's pointing to the left. How do I know that's greater than? Because it's pointing to the right. On a number line, all numbers to the left are less, all numbers to the right are greater. So that becomes 2 over 3x, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. Now I have fractions. So one way I can do this, I can cross multiply or multiply by the LCD. So I'll do it two ways. What's the LCD for 5 and 4? 20. So let's multiply by 20. 5 into 20 goes 4. So 4 times x, 4 times y. 4 into 20 goes 5. 5 times y. 5 times negative 1. So we got 4y minus 5y greater than negative 4x minus 5. Negative y greater than negative 4x minus 5. And I divide all terms by negative 1. So y, I'm dividing by negative 1, so that becomes a less than. That's 4x plus 5. That's one way to handle it because I have fractions. Fractions in a equal sign or inequality multiplying through by the LCD will cancel all your denominators. Good way to do it. Another way to do it would be to what we call cross multiply. But with inequalities, I should not have any negatives in the bottom. If I had negative denominators here, I would remove the negative first before I cross multiply. So cross multiply means 4 times x plus y is greater than 5 times y minus 1. So when you cross multiply, again, there should be no negatives in your denominator before you cross multiply. And when you do, notice 4x plus 4y is right there, and 5y minus 5 is right there. So by cross multiplying or multiplying by the LCD, you still get the same answer. But I repeat, cross multiplication, no negatives in the denominator. If you had a negative there, it would become wrong. So be careful. And practice. We have some more to practice. And we have to simplify, solve for y. So we have to move all the y's, x, y, and a number. So all of these are unlike terms. We cannot add this side, cannot be simplified, or this side can't be simplified. So therefore I'm solving for y, so the y's go on the left. So plus 2y becomes negative 2y, greater than. And I have a negative 6x. Bring this one over, it's positive 2x. And I have a positive 3. Bring the negative 1 over, it becomes plus 1. So when you're moving them across an inequality or an equal sign, you still change the signs. 2y is greater than negative 4x plus 4. And when we divide all terms by 2, we get y is greater than, because I'm dividing by a positive number, it doesn't change. Negative 2x plus 2. Number 6. Oh, we have a subtraction. So really, if I want, I can add on the opposite. But think about this. That's a subtracting this binomial. So I'm going to make this, just do that. If you put that 1 there, then that subtract this bracket becomes negative 1 times that bracket. So now you can go negative 3x minus 9y less than equal to negative 6y plus 6. Now by multiplying by negative 6 or negative 3, now you're multiplying by negative 1. Same idea. So that's a little trick that I do when I'm subtracting. I put the negative 1 like that, and now I'm able to multiply. And again, if you didn't do the 1, you would be getting the opposite of 12x, which is negative 12, and the opposite of a negative 3 is plus 3. So the little trick is to put that 1 there and then multiply. Now we simplify. 3x minus 9y less than or equal to. And we have the y's and the x's don't make the difference. 6 plus 3 is 9. Now the reason I say this didn't make a difference because I know when I'm solving for y, the y is going to go over here. So I could have had a negative 12x minus 6y plus 9. But the y's are going to the left, and the x's and the numbers are going to the right because I'm solving for y. So negative 9y, that's a negative 6 becomes a plus 6y less than equal to negative 12x. That's negative becomes a positive. And the 9 doesn't move, so it's positive. Simplify. Negative 3y less than equal to negative 9x plus 9. I divide by negative 3. They cancel out. They give me 1. I'm dividing by negative 3, so this becomes a greater than. Negative 9 divided by negative 3 is 3. 9 divided by negative 3 is negative 3. So again, we're dividing by negative 3, so the less than becomes a greater than. And number 7, the last one we have to do here, we have fractions. Remember, we did, when you do fractions, what I do is that I multiply by the LCD. So what is the LCD for 2 and 5? The LCD is 10. So I'll multiply all parts of the equation by 10. What happens when I multiply all parts of this equation by 10? That's the same as multiplying the left and the right side by 10, only I put 10 with every one. Every denominator should cancel. 5 times 1x. 5 into 10 goes 2. 2 times 2y. And there's no cancellation here because there's no fraction, so you just get a 40. And I'm solving for y. 4y is greater than negative 5x plus 40. Solving for y, x is moved to the right. So now we divide by 4. Dividing by 4, positive number doesn't change the direction. And again, done perfectly. Again, I multiplied by 10 to cancel out the denominators. And remember what form? Y equals mx plus b. That's solved for y, just driving that home. Y equals mx plus b. When you solve for y, you're putting it into this form, slope y-intercept form. And that brings us to the end of this video. And if you like my video, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell. Why? Because there are more videos coming on different topics, many, grade 11 and 12. Visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. And that's the content that I'm going to have on my YouTube channel when I'm finished, right on from grade 7 to grade 12. And my YouTube channel is Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.